one of the things that I loved about your book, and I was very clear about it when I wrote about it, which was how you translate both mishteh and beit mishteh, and which is simply, how would you translate it?
Well,
With
it's a
both of these
drinking
terms.
it's a drinking party, right? That's
Yeah,
what people, I mean, I think you have to take the words seriously, right? They why else, because people gloss it over. That's what it means. But why is it like there? And weddings involve drinking. Celebration involves drinking. Rabbinic
yeah,
literature I always say there's no joy without wine, right? So there's just it's not, and so to ignore that
mhm.
to me means you're missing. Like you can say drinking was a fundamental part of it, and so much so that it becomes a term to refer to the thing as a whole. And so you can then say, well, the term kind of gets fossilized and it means so much more than that. And I can agree with you, except the fact is it's still there and it's still
Yeah,
part of it. And a story like this, I think, and if you keep looking through these, you'll see they assume that drinking happened, right?
yeah,
And so I even point out in the book, if you continue reading on, right, there's text in the Bible. He continues in Brachot, continues to imagine that drinking happens at weddings.
yeah.
So you have to take that seriously.
Yeah, and so there's two. So Mishnah itself, it's funny because I know that you translate it a certain way and I translate it a slightly different way, but we're both a lot more on the same page than the way it's
Yeah.
usually been translated. So I know you translate it as necessarily a drinking party, whereas I translate it as more of like it's a drinking event.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit more ambiguous from my understanding of it as necessarily is it how much of a celebratory party is it? Whereas you say, well, and it's funny because we can each justify it is every time you drink, it's necessarily a party, and I say not always. It could just simply be a gathering of people who just happen to be drinking, right?
Well, right. No, and I'm fine with the reason I chose party in the end is also because there's this celebrate. I really do feel it's seen as a very positive experience and it's a social experience. And so, and this is where it's sort of we're in the same zip code, not the
Right.
same house when it comes to that, right? So like as long you're taking the drinking aspect seriously, so I can I'm fine with that. But the reason I settled on party was because I also wanted to accent that of what's going on there.